Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and welcome to the 186th episode of Open Up Live Talk Show. Today is a very special type of episode. Today we're celebrating Black History Month. And we do have our live chat open that is always moderated by the founder, Savam. He will be controlling and moderating and the topics, as well as we can discuss about everything to do with Black History Month and all these discussions around Black boys and men and how we can support them as best we can. So every Black History Month, there is a theme. This year's theme is Black legacy and leadership, celebrating our history and inspiring future generations. Now, I want you to marinate a little bit on this title, inspiring future generations. How do we go about this? And how can we, within our community, uplift our youth, young boys and men, and continue to do this for generations? A call to action. How can we start tonight? The topics that we'll be discussing tonight, Black History Month, will be what specific actionable steps can we take as a community and as individuals to dismantle the systemic barriers that disproportionately impact the mental health, educational opportunities, and economic mobility of Black boys and men. How do we move beyond awareness and into sustained, impactful action, especially in creating spaces where Black boys and men feel seen, valued, and empowered to thrive? So now we do have a few topics tonight, and like I said, primarily we're going to get our feedback and our answers from the chat group that we always have live for every Open Up Talk Show. And we have actually decided to leave the chat box open for the entirety of the month of February, thus concluding Black History Month. Personally, I celebrate 365 days a year, but this will give you an opportunity to give your response and express how you truly feel about Black History Month and how we can support our Black boys and men. And I would love to have the conversation keep growing and go beyond Voice of Men 360. That being said, I will get started with our first question, our first topic. What role do mentorship programs play in the development of Black boys and men, and how can we expand their reach? Now, this question resonates with me a lot. So I am actually a part of a mentorship program here in Toronto, where I reside, Toronto, Ontario, and the organization is called NIA Center of the Arts. And this is a Black-led organization that is for youth, and my role there is to help youth navigate the arts industry here in Ontario and beyond, and successful tips on how to network, sell your art, and just be a huge advocate of the arts and thus have a successful career. So it's great that we actually have a program like that and those types of initiatives, and I'm such a big part of it. So I highly recommend checking out this organization, NIA Center for the Arts. It's very rewarding seeing our people strive for greatness, our youth, with this type of mentorship program. And I truly do feel blessed. And it's easy enough to be a part of. They have lots of programs that are accessible to Black youth. And Black youth, that age range is around 13 years old to 29 years old. So that's very wide range. It's accessible, it's fun, and you get mentorship from me. Amazing. It's a win-win. So that's definitely a core value of mine, working with youth, being a mentor, and teaching creative art workshops. I would love to hear other people's thoughts as we are live. And again, we're going to continue to discuss this conversation because we do have the rest of the month to have this fruitful conversation. Okay, we're going to now move on to the second topic that I have. How can we better address the unique challenges faced by Black men and boys in the education system, from early childhood to higher education? Wow, such a great topic. So I also do work in high schools and other types of educational organizations. For instance, I did work with the Westview Centennial Secondary College, uh, sorry, the school rather, secondary school, and I taught painting workshops there, which is, I think it's so powerful seeing people like me, for young high schools, youth, to see me teach these painting workshops and just navigate the curriculum, incorporate it, and make it fun and exciting for the youth to really engage in and have fun, learn fundamental skills. And I always found that to be, of course, rewarding for myself, but also very impactful, seeing yourself reflected in your community and in these types of teaching roles, learning fundamental skills, and just having fun. Finding these moments where you have joy and can work alongside one another in camaraderie and technique. It's just a great balance to push our community forward. And again, seeing yourself reflected in that type of environment, it means it's underrepresented and underrated. So yeah, it's been like such a blessing for me to have that opportunity. Another opportunity, it's actually happening quite soon. This coming Tuesday, I'm teaching fine art painting workshops at a university here in Toronto once more, and I'm just also teaching about art history behind references that I have for the children and the youth, and it's open to young adults as well. So it's great that I get to let the viewers, the participants, know about the art history behind the paintings and the references. This one person in particular, this one historic artist, Alma Thompson, was her name. She was around in the late 1800s. That's when she was born. And she really had a knack for fine art, but also faced so many barriers of systemic constructs, systemic society. These roadblocks would always come at her, and that she was faced with when she was trying to make a point to have a successful art career. She was actually the first African American to have a fine arts career, to enroll in the fine arts and have a successful career outside of that. So it really resonated with me. I went to school for fine art, and just speaking about this woman who was the first Black woman to be in fine arts for educational system. She went to Howard University. It is quite powerful. And again, just the aspect of having the privilege to go into these establishments and these educational systems and teach these fundamental skills and workshops alongside one another in camaraderie. Camaraderie means so much, and I love seeing it. I love doing it. It's has such an impact, and I'll continue to do those creative workshops, and I can't wait to share on social media and express with others and network with others so I can get more opportunities to teach the youth. All right. So our next topic, we're going to move to topic number 3. How can we create a culture of vulnerability and support around mental health within Black communities, particularly for men? How can we create a culture of vulnerability and support around mental health? So this one is huge. There is a stigma in with our community for mental health, particularly in for Black boys and men. We need more safe spaces, whether it be online, virtual, in person. I feel works best. Online and virtual is really a stepping stone, but like I just expressed, going into these schools and making an impact and having that privilege to teach and show others to have a creative outlet. It's such a great form of therapy to get in touch with that side of yourself and express on the canvas, express during pottery, express during music, whatever modality you're into. It is a lot easier for most to be able to express in that way. You don't have to be the top artist, have all these awards, but it's just, I think there's a natural way to just getting comfortable enough to express what you're going through. You don't necessarily have to speak one-on-one and have that uh, type of back and forth talk with a therapist. We can work up to that, and we can do it through our creative outlet. And again, working with others in camaraderie, being able to open up and share, become vulnerable. It's what it's all about. And making mistakes along the way. Of course, we're all going to make mistakes along the way, but this is a stepping stone. Having that creative outlet and just being with your friends and everyone else within that community, Black identifying, it's just makes it that much easier to reach out to for types of mental health that you are in seek of, type of mental wellness that you're in seek of, rather. I found that's always helped, and that's always been the best medicine for myself. And of course, uh, having accessibility to clinical mental wellness, having that accessibility is also very valued and should be taken seriously. And I think a great stepping stone and a conduit to that is having a creative outlet. All right, so now let's move on to topic number 4. Topic number 4. What are some practical tools and resources that can help Black boys and men develop resilience and coping mechanisms in the face of adversity? We need more safe spaces. We need more resources to these safe spaces. Again, whether it be online or in person, which is the most effective, in my opinion, for our boys, for our Black boys. There aren't any resources. There's no safe spaces. There's nothing. I think it's our responsibility as adults to really listen to how our boys are feeling, and our friends as well as family members, loved ones, really open up and provide that space of open communication. It goes a long way. It truly does. Being able to reach out and hold space and hold that time to really understand how one another is feeling. uh, Groups are great, like meetup groups, things of that nature. We need more accessibility And we just need to spread that awareness of the accessibility to send resources. We can do it easy enough just sending these types of resources through social media, online, whatever avenue you're comfortable with, and getting out and taking action. So that's what I love. That's what I love about our community. I am in a plethora of different groups, supporting groups within our Black community, and it really makes a difference. So we need to really spread that awareness and join together. And I would love to follow anybody with that type of like-minded thinking and spaces and environments that can provide this wellness for our Black men and boys. Uh, any type of networking, I'm always going to be game for. So if you haven't already, please feel free to follow what I'm doing, follow what Voice of Men 360 is doing. Of course, you know, I am a fine artist. I teach artwork. I love mentorship programs. So I just love it all. I'm in and open to all suggestions, networking, and coming together to get the job done. We do have a final question, a final topic rather. Considering the impact of social media, how can we leverage these platforms to promote positive narratives and create supportive online communities for Black boys and men? Wow, I have to sit with this question. Social media can be damaging. Now, I see a lot of hate, a lot of anger, and a lot of individuals just wanting awareness and success and clout based off of negativity, and just harmful experiences, stereotypes that we just cling onto, which need to be dispelled. We need to have more communities, online communities rather, coming together and showing the good and showing a side of the community that we can be so much more resourceful. We work 10 times harder than the average individual to be successful, non-Black identifying, because of the plights that we face and the non-accessibility to mental wellness and mental health. It's just always 10 times harder for Black men and boys to open up and to be expressive about what they're going through, how we navigate these situations, and truly open up to our peers and our ones that we love. That's crucial. So having those spaces, there needs to be more awareness and just more advocacy through types of influencers and through organizations and through platforms, right? We can celebrate Black History Month together 365 days, of course, is my preferred way to go about this, but it's easy enough to support one another and have charitable organizations or go about whatever way you feel most comfortable with to advocate for Black history, understanding our Black history, understanding the future generations, and coming together, being a part of it all. So I think that is something that we can all take part in, because we do take part in social media, and it needs to be more ingrained in today's society. Black History Month, the importance of Black History Month, even critical race theory, if we're talking about the educational system, these things can easily be implemented as we surf the internet and get into these networking spaces, get to know one another through organization, through camaraderie. It's so easy to work with people that you have a like-minded, if you have like-minded goals with, any type of like-mindedness with, it's comes natural to share these resources and strive to be great, whether Black identifying or non-Black identifying. Black History Month is a part of all of our history, and it's time to start initiatives and start doing that call to action on social media. It's so easy. And so I would love to hear everyone else's uh, interpretation of these topics that I have put together for tonight, especially this last one on social media. We all participate in social media, and it's poses a great question. How do we support these online communities? All of these questions will be available for the rest of the month, the 28th, and we can continue to have these conversations outside of Black History Month. It's easy enough to find resources through myself, my social media, painting workshops that I offer. That's definitely a good conversation starter, as well as Voice of Men. It's easier to become affiliated or any type of man identifying, or if you just seek that help, easy enough to reach the socials and just get started. So with that, I'm going to go on to let the people know that we would love to be a part of any type of organization, partner with any type of organization, and particularly organizations within the Black community, and support and advocate for what they have going on. Any type of charitable or non-profit organizations, we always love to have some type of open communication on how we can better support, spread awareness, and just create that call to action. Our phone number that you can reach us at is 226-289-8784. Email address info@voiceofmen360.org. Website www.voiceofmen360.org. You can find us on all social platforms, Voice of Men 360. Facebook group. You can join our Facebook group, of course. We have daily activities. Please invite your friends as well. And I would love to see you out there. We do have great discussions on and offline for our non-live open discussions, which are great, which are very resourceful, and we always love creating that safe space. So we'd love to create a safe space with you. I'd like to thank you for joining us today and having those difficult conversations one step at a time. I love that we can all be here in celebration of Black History Month. I appreciate that you took the time to be with us tonight. And again, we're going to be running this segment for the rest of the month. You know me, I love to celebrate 365. So let's start that call to action now. Okay, take care of everyone. Good night, and have a good rest of your Black History Month.